Hello, Danvers and YouTubers around the world. I'm John Call. I'm your host today for Community Connections. And even though that's a semi-annual show that we put on, we're trying to do monthly individual shows with individual organizations so we can get an in-depth look at them. And today, I'm joined by two people from Grateful Friends. Welcome. I have Becky Beekman and Al Temkin from Grateful Friends. Welcome.
Thanks.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So let's start. What is Grateful Friends?
Well, I'm glad you asked. So Grateful Friends was founded about 10 years ago by Gwen Ryan and Lee Moralia. They were both going through cancer treatment. And what happened was they recognized they got together over an espresso martini. And they recognized that they had a large support system as they were going through their treatment. Lee had a few sisters, they had lots of friends, Gwen, same. A lot of people supporting them. And they successfully went through their treatment and they recognized they wanted to give back. So they started Grateful Friends, which supports adults going through cancer treatment through a variety of ways, whether it's through financial grants, through Comfort Care Baskets, or we also have a program to thank caregivers.
That's wonderful. Let's talk. So it's been around for 10, 11 years maybe?
We're celebrating 10 years.
10 years. Okay, great. That's wonderful. And how many people do you think you've helped in those 10 years?
A lot. I don't have exact numbers for you, but it's in the hundreds. So as an example, last year, 2024, we had over $60,000 of requests, people looking for help. We were able to help about a little over 50% of that,
Wow.
just based on the amount of funds that we had to work with. That's just money given to people to help them pay their bills. That doesn't include the gift baskets and the thank you program and other stuff. So when you look at 10 years, it's in the hundreds. And this year we've seen a little bit of a spike in these requests, and we're doing everything we can do to help as many people as we possibly can. Because as Becky said, Gwen and Lee started Grateful Friends because they had the support system that probably the three of us would have. God forbid somebody in the family got sick. Many people don't have that. Right? And research has shown 5 times the number of people who are diagnosed with cancer who don't have that support end up bankrupt. So we feel the need to at the little bit that we can do, God forbid you person goes out and they get a chemotherapy treatment, they're coming home, they're not feeling good, they can't turn the lights on. We've actually experienced this with people who have asked us for help. Recently, you're probably going to tell the story, and I'm sorry. Recently, we had a woman approach us who's going through cancer treatments, living in her car. She was living in her car. And all she asked us for was food.
What she recognized was she could get a hot meal at Whole Foods. So she was living in her car, so we gave her gift certificates to Whole Foods and gas cards. So that's how she sustained herself. Interestingly, this was a request over the fall. She recently passed away, and I read her obituary. And what really resonated with me in reading that obituary was she was a successful woman. She was the director level at a YMCA in the South. And then she had a successful meditation holistic practice. She lost her first husband, and then she lost her partner. And while going through treatment, she fell on hard times and ended up living in her car. And the picture in her obituary, she was a beautiful woman. And that's really resonated with me, that it can happen to everyday people. It's not the homeless person that you think is pushing the shopping cart, who has made a lifestyle of it. Like, this was circumstance that is heartbreaking.
But I like how you didn't try and overcorrect the situation. You said she's living in her car. What can we do to help that? Gas cards. She can get a hot meal here. Let's give her gift certificates to that. As opposed to saying, let's try and get her in an apartment somewhere. Let's try and, change her life. She's going through enough right now. Let's just sustain her and support her the way she currently is. and try and help her as best you can, which was great.
Right.
Yeah, that
It really was very helpful. So we want to believe, I guess, that the last months of her life were a little bit elevated based on some of the help that we were able to provide based on what it had been before she met us.
Right.
Yeah.
So talk to me about the application. You said $60,000 worth. Do people fill out an application that says I need $10,000 to cover my medical bills?
No,
or-
no. So we work directly with the social workers in the hospitals. And so the workers are working with the people who are going through these treatments and dealing with the cancer. And the social workers suggest to them, fill out this application, let's see if we can get you some help. So they kind of give us information, and we can provide up to $750 a month now. We are looking to get that increased as time goes on, but right now it's up to $750 a month. And that can include anything from, like I said, paying the electric bill, to making the car payment, to paying the insurance, to getting some food. Whatever is necessary is what we try and provide. So they submit these applications. We have a team of people that review these applications, and for those that qualify, we get them on board.
One thing people do recognize is it's a pretty simple application. You don't have to provide tax returns. It's not complicated. A lot of charities require a lot of paperwork, and a lot of people just don't have the bandwidth.
Right.
So if we get our application by Thursday, checks are going out on Friday.
Wow, that's great. Yeah, you're right about the bandwidth. They're going through enough in their life, and they got more important things to focus
Right.
on than anything that's kind of out of the ordinary. If you've never filled out a grant request or a financial application, then
Right.
it's like, no, I don't have the time for this.
Exactly right.
And we're hoping our grants can, as we grow, we're hoping that the grants can become larger. It is exciting that since I took the presidency over in August,
Yep.
I don't think we've had to decline an application,
That's great.
which is it's been pretty exciting.
That's what happens when you have great leadership in an organization.
Yeah.
That's great.
We
too.
ran a fundraiser last fall that Becky put together with just a great team of volunteers and people that we have the pleasure of working with a lot. And it was a very successful fundraiser, and that's why that happened. Yeah.
So let's talk about that, raising money. Obviously, that's kind of your chief resource. Is it mostly individuals contributing? Is it corporations contributing? Is it fundraising events where you make your most money? How's it all work?
Yes.
All
yes,
of the above.
And yes.
All of the above.
So yeah, we ran a very successful fundraiser, as I just mentioned last fall. It really was. We had people came from everywhere that for lunch, and we had sponsors there. We are having we're planning another fundraiser coming up on June 5th at the Kernwood Country Club, and we are anticipating that to be also hopefully even more successful. We have a bunch of sponsors so far that have already contributed. We have some others online that are going to be coming forward, and we are actually honoring that night Dr. McIntyre, James McIntyre from Brigham, from
Mass General.
From Mass
Danvers.
General, yeah, that one. And he's an oncology doctor who has done some wonderful things. He's a really, really good guy, and so we're looking forward to honoring him.
He's getting our Champions in Cancer Care Award. And we've had some tremendous recipients already. We've had Dr. Bev Schaefer was a recipient, Dr. Kelly Cornell out of Winchester, because we do serve out west. We do extend our care out to as far as Winchester Hospital. Then we've also honored a couple locals. Al has been supporting us for over 10 years, or 10 years since we've begun. So Al was one of our recipients, as well as David Ray from Leslie Ray Insurance. So Dr. McIntyre will be our next recipient of our Champions Award,
That's excellent.
which is really great.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially the fact that he's in the field. And I'm sure you have witnessed it over the past 10 years, how much medical technology, medical practices, medicine itself has changed so much with regard to cancer. And all the research that's going on and new things coming up every day. And these doctors need to be aware of that. You don't want to be treated by somebody who's living 10 years ago,
Isn't that the truth?
practicing as he
Yeah.
was 10 years ago, he or she.
Yeah.
You want somebody who's state of the art and going to cure you. So
Yeah.
You look at people today that unfortunately get diagnosed with some form of cancer that live a very good, healthy, long life compared to, even 25 or 30 years ago. That was not going to happen.
Yeah.
So yeah, great things are happening, and for all of the organizations that are out there. I was just talking to a woman this morning. I was at my car service. I get in conversation with this woman who is involved with an equestrian service up in Andover for people who have all kinds of disabilities, including cancer. And she was talking about how awesome these horses are with these people, and we're going to be talking to her, by the way. So it's just amazing how everybody wants to help. Everybody wants to be in a position where they've helped somebody accomplish something. And that's what Grateful Friends is doing every single day.
That's great. And I think it is because I think everybody knows somebody that has had cancer.
Yeah.
And they realize that it just, as you said earlier, reaches out and touches everybody. There's no discrimination involved. You can be whoever you are, and you go to the doctor one day and he's saying, "You got it." And that's devastating news to a lot of people. It catches everybody off guard. It's not like something that you fall and you break your leg or whatever, and it's like, oh yeah, saw that coming.
Right.
But it is such a shock. So
it is, and thank God for organizations like Grateful Friends, right?
absolutely.
I mean, we do what we can do. We're hoping to get to a point where we can do more, and when that happens, we will. And the stories like the woman that we just talked about, and there are many others that we could share, and we want to be there for those people. So this fundraiser that's coming up is very, very important, needs to be successful.
Great. And so let's talk about that. What kind of an evening is it?
So it's going to be held at the Kernwood Country Club over in Salem, and it's going to be on June the 5th. I always get that messed up because I have another event on June 12th. But it's June the 5th, starting at 6:30. We're going to have, there'll be plenty of food. There is a bar there. We're going to have Horizon and the Horns, Ray Novak and Bill Beckman work with that band, and we're going to have some fun dancing on the dance floor. We're going to recognize Dr. McIntyre, as we talked about earlier. We probably will have a little bit of an auction and try to raise some money and have some fun with it. And you can see and get more information about our fundraiser on our website, which is gratefulfriends.org. Grateful spelled Grateful. You'll see it on your screen. Gratefulfriends.org. All the information is there, and we certainly hope you can join us. If you can't join us and you feel the opportunity to make a donation or become a sponsor, please feel welcome to help us out.
That's wonderful. Now let's talk about making a donation. On your website, you have a button where you can make a donation. Do you also recruit volunteers, people that can't give money but can give time to help your organization?
Absolutely. And that's another program that we have, is we have our Comfort Care Baskets. So not only do we have financial grants, we also create Comfort Care Baskets, and they're filled with essentials when you're going through either radiation or chemo. There's Biotine in there, because when you're going through chemo, your mouth tastes bad. There's ginger snap cookies, which you wouldn't think, but they're effective in getting rid of that metal taste. There's eyebrow pencils, because many people lose their hair as well as their eyebrows. There's cooling caps, because cooling caps can maybe help you a little bit in not losing your hair. There's a blanket in there, because you're often chilly. There's a hydration bottle, because you want to continue to stay hydrated. There's a little bit of entertainment in there, while you're sitting going through treatment. There's some puzzles or whatnot. So they're very thoughtfully put together, and hoping that people feel the support that they need right at that time.
That's great. So let's start with an individual who contacts you, or you get their application and you decide how you're going to help them, whether it's through a care package or through its financial assistance. What happens then? What's that next step that you guys do? How often are you in contact with that individual, and what kind of updates do you get?
Like Al said, most of our applications come through social workers. A lot of social workers do keep, as people are diagnosed, a lot of them keep baskets on hand where they're just presented with a basket when they're first diagnosed. People can also go on our website and send one at no cost to them, or they can just give us their information, and that'll be delivered.
Yeah, and then beyond that, that's kind of an important point. These baskets, many times, not all the time, many times, are delivered. So our volunteers, you mentioned earlier, and we welcome all the volunteers that want to help, will go to the home of the person that's dealing with this and deliver these baskets, which I think our volunteers get a lot more out of it, frankly, than the person receiving the basket. Then as far as the financial stuff is concerned, we will cut, as long as they qualify and they filled out the application fully and completely, we send them a check. You know, it's really that simple.
Actually, we
great.
don't send them a check. We send it directly to the source. So we pay, like if it's National Grid, we pay National Grid.
I'm sorry, that's correct, yes.
Or Eversource.
Yes.
And that's one thing that we do recognize is we pay a lot of utilities. We literally keep the lights on for people and their heat on for
Yep.
people.
So, is there ever an opportunity where you will reach out to the utility and say, hey, can you cut these people a break? You know, this is what they're going through, and, you know.
You're reading my
them
mind.
Yeah.
In fact, you know, and that's on my short list of things to do, is reaching out to some of our power sources, whether it's National Grid or Eversource or Constellation, and developing a relationship, because I know that they do have a philanthropic arm. So if anybody knows of anybody in a position to partner with us, I'd greatly appreciate it.
Now, you're located in Beverly, correct? You're out of Beverly. That's where you operate from.
Yes.
Primarily.
And does the city of Beverly help support you as well? Are they working behind the scenes on your behalf?
No,
Not
No?
at this juncture, no.
no,
It's a shame.
no, not at all. Yeah, it is a shame. And at the same time, you know, these cities and towns, the budgets are strained. Everybody's looking for money, so I understand that, and we're doing okay on our own so far, and we're going to do even better. So that's not something that we're going to rely on. Doesn't mean we're not going to ask, but we're not going to rely on that, at least not in the near term.
Right, gotcha. And I noticed on your website you have another event coming up. I don't know if it's a fundraising event or just an event. It said more information to come.
Oh, for the fall.
Yeah.
We're
Yeah.
super excited that we'll be having Natalie Merchant of 10,000 Maniacs.
Wow.
She'll be with us on November 9th at the Cabot. And we're super excited about that.
Oh, that's great. Yeah. See
So-
a little sneak preview, everybody.
Exactly.
So we'll have an event before, starting around 5, for people who want to participate in just kind of a pre-reception.
Mhm.
And then we'll have the concert, and it's going to be great.
I'll bet it is. Yeah, that'll be wonderful. What else is going on? What are you working on specifically? You said you had a little agenda going. What are the kind of the top things on your list?
Well, like I said, reaching out to power companies is really on our short list. Another thing that we really like to do is we're always looking to expand our reach, and we're very North Shore centric. Many of our funds and our board members are from Danvers, Ipswich, Beverly, Gloucester. And a lot of people don't know about us. We just had an event in Beverly on April Fool's Day. We had a jail or bail. So we arrested a few locals, and we brought them down to Gentilly Brewing. And we created a lot of awareness. We raised about $12,000 on just a fun
That's
night.
great.
So we created a lot of Beverly awareness, but what we want to do is create awareness in Marblehead, in Danvers, in Newburyport, in Gloucester, Rockport, maybe out a little bit in the west, in Woburn and Lexington, and even out toward Winchester. So what we're hoping is to maybe have some small little cocktail parties. You know, the weather's getting nice. Might be nice to have a little garden party of 10 or 20 people that people can introduce Grateful Friends to. You know, it's an intimate way to learn a little bit more and have a lovely night.
Great. Do you have, so I know you have board members, a rather lengthy list of board members actually, which is great. Do you also have regular members, people that just support the organization by being a member?
Yeah, we're not membership driven. So we do have a great board. That list you saw is there's some really interesting people and people who really want to help and are dedicated and committed. But we don't have a membership. We're not membership-based. But we're always looking for people who would like to serve with us. We meet monthly. Typically, the board meetings are an hour. Sometimes they're a little bit more than that, but it's not labor-intensive. But what we're looking for is creativity. We're looking for guidance. We're looking for people who know people they can reach out to, who will bring them in the fold.
Right.
So we're looking for the right situation with the focus being, how do we help more people?
Right.
That's the focus.
The only reason I bring up membership is that might help you along the getting people aware of your organization. Because if I was a member, then I could talk to people that I know. As soon as I hear somebody has cancer, I should talk to them.
Well, you can do that whether you remember or not.
Yeah, but
So-
now that I know, certainly. But
Yes,
if
yeah.
people can become
Right.
members, then it's more on the top of their mind.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah,
Rather than all the other things.
Now I've got another thing on my list of things to do.
yeah, something else. Add that to the list.
Also, we'll send you a link to this show afterwards, and you can email that out to everybody.
Great.
And everybody can watch it on YouTube, so that's great.
Great, great.
What else do we need to talk about?
So I just, if you don't mind, I would like to mention again to everybody watching that, again, on June 5th, we're going to be at the Kernwood Country Club for a nice night. It's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to enjoy some great music and have some fun with your significant other person that you might bring with you, do some dancing and have some really good food, but most importantly, to help and to support and get a little bit more committed to an organization that does so many great things for so many people. So please join us. Take a look at the website, again, gratefulfriends.org. Get all your information, and feel free to reach out if you have any questions.
That's great, Al. Thank you so much. This is a good organization that is trying to help people that need your support, that need your help, that are in a time of need, in a time of crisis. And so it's wonderful work that you're doing. Thank you for doing it. Wish you all the success on June 5th.
Thank you.
At your party and your fundraiser. And to all the people that support you already through the many organizations that I saw on your website, the corporations that are supporting you, good companies that obviously see the merit in what you're doing and back you up. And best of luck.
Thanks so much.
Thanks for being on the
Thanks
show.
for having
Thank
us.
you, thank you.
Great. Okay, next time, tune in again. We're on every month, and this show will be on soon. So have a great day, everybody. Bye.